One more time from the Casey Center in Des Moines. We have a Class 1A state semifinal for you in the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. And it is a rematch of last year's double overtime thrilling state championship game. It's the defending champions Saints of St. Albert and the defending runner-up Mustangs from Newell-Fonda, set to see who will face off against Bishop Garrigan in the Class 1A state championship game. A very pleasant good afternoon to you and welcome into the Casey Center in Des Moines alongside Miss Iowa Basketball, Tammy Blackstone. I'm Daniel Versteg. Well, and here we go, a double overtime championship game last year, semifinal contest this year. But we do know one thing, both teams like to get up and down the court.
Absolutely. We're going to see some good fast break action. We're going to see a lot of full court pressing. And this is just the kind of rematch that fans like us just kind of dream of, and it's just so fun to watch because you just know these teams, everything's on the line for them, and both of them have come and they're ready to play.
As soon as the brackets came out, we knew this was a possibility, and we can't wait to see how this one goes. St. Albert, of course, the defending state champions, so you know they might have maybe a little bit more of a target on their back.
Yeah, I think so. You know, but Newell-Fonda, such a dynasty. They're here all the time. They know what it felt like to lose last year, so they're going to have that chip on their shoulder. But you're absolutely right. St. Albert comes here maybe with kind of that advantage we won last year. Looking to repeat.
Well, we're looking forward to what should be a great matchup. Let's see how these teams got it done in the quarterfinal round. Newell-Fonda defeated St. Ansgar 77-58. They were cruising in that ball game and got up out in the fast break in a hurry, led by the Seaver Stars. Ellie, who had 18 points, Quinn, who had 17. Look for them to be factors once again. Meanwhile, St. Albert, kind of a grinded-out game. Offense was really hard to come by. They defeated Xira Elkhorn Kimballton 45-37, thanks in large part to some late buckets from Ava Underwood, who had a double-double of 11 points and 17 rebounds. Both these teams have some stars. They shone in that double overtime championship game. We're looking forward to seeing them shine here in the semifinal round at the Girls State Basketball Tournament. We will step aside. When we come back, we're going to break down what these two teams need to do to be successful with our Seeds for Success. That's coming up when you return on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7.
45-37, thanks in large part to some late buckets from Ava Underwood, who had a double-double of 11 points and 17 rebounds. Both these teams have some stars. They shone in that double overtime championship game. We're looking forward to seeing them shine here in the semifinal round at the Girls State Basketball Tournament. We will step aside. When we come back, we're going to break down what these two teams need to do to be successful with our Seeds for Success. That's coming up when you return on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Back inside the Casey Center here in Des Moines. Glad you're with us for our pregame coverage of the Class 1A state semifinal. The defending champion Saints of St. Albert against the defending runner-up of Newell-Fonda, the Mustangs, in a Class 1A state semifinal. With Tammy Blackstone, Daniel Versteg with you. Tammy, let's break down this matchup and see what the Mustangs and the Saints need to do to be successful with our seeds for success.
Yeah. For Newell-Fonda, they're going to need to box out and limit second chance opportunities for St. Albert. Just 2 days ago, St. Albert scored 23 points off of second chance opportunities. So Newell-Fonda is going to need to control the boards and limit those opportunities for St. Albert. Now, for St. Albert, we all know Newell-Fonda's got quite a press. They do a run and jump. They do a 2-2-1 full court. They do a 2-1-2 full court. They're going to mix it up, so St. Albert is going to need to work hard to pass, to break that press and get it to the middle of the court. Also, Newell-Fonda likes to run.
Yes.
So stopping that fast break is going to be critical as well for the Saints.
Well, those are our seeds for success. They're brought to you by Channel Seeds, your local seeds dealer. Visit channelseed.com today. Yeah, and it's those are two things that both teams, both of them do so well. St. Albert, as you mentioned, that was over half of their points came on second chances in the victory over Exira, Elkhorn, and Kimballton. So we'll look forward to seeing how this one turns out. St. Albert, Newell-Fonda, state semifinal. We're going to take our final break and come back to tip this one off for the Casey Center in Des Moines on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Do you volunteer or hang with friends? Play pickleball, read or follow trends. No matter what your retirement style, you deserve healthy eyes and a healthy smile. Some Medicare plans don't cover vision or dental. With Delta Dental, you can save on what's essential. Get coverage and take care of your health. It's peace of mind, so treat yourself. It's more affordable than you might think. Give us a call or visit this link.
As title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we're proud to support this fantastic event. At the Iowa Farm Bureau, we believe that strong farms and strong schools fuel strong futures. Partnering with the Girls Union allows us to celebrate Iowa's youth while supporting and empowering the Iowa girl.
Reaching the state tournament is no small feat, and it takes a strong support system. Thanks to the Iowa Farm Bureau, we're able to honor students for their outstanding achievements in each of their sports and in the classroom. The Iowa Farm Bureau helps our organization provide awards, grants, and scholarships to honor excellence in athletics and academics.
Whether you're a student competing today or a fan cheering from home, we all play a role in making our state shine. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union,
congratulations on a fantastic season, and good luck.
We're back to the Casey Center in Des Moines, 1A state semifinal, Newell-Fonda against St. Albert. Let's go down to the great Joe Hammond for our pregame presentation.
Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by participants, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to enjoy the game. Fans, it's now time to introduce the players in today's semifinal matchup. Today's team intros are brought to you by Hy-Vee. First the non-starters for the St. Albert Saints. Number 11, Maeve Ryan. Number 13, Alexa Lentz. Number 15, Lexi Pierce. Number 21, Maura Ryan. Number 31, Eva Jones. Number 33, Jocelyn Boswell. Number 35, Della Considine. Number 43, Ellie Larmy. And number 45, Lexi Darrington. The assistant coaches for St. Albert are J.C. Bowman, T. Gary White, and Dwayne Dale. Now let's meet the non-starters for the Newell-Fonda Mustangs. Number 5, Mina Adams. Number 10, Quinn Sievers. Number 14, Elliot Hamilton. Number 22, Danica Meyer. Number 24, Kennedy Hoberman. Number 30, Paige Erickson. Number 34, Cameron Perman. Number 42, Madeline Vanderhoff. Number 50, Michaela Hansen. And number 52, Ella Roberts. The assistant coaches for Newell-Fonda are Courtney Darrow, Julie Sievers, and Paul Luce. And now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for today's starting lineups? For St. Albert at forward, a 5'8" junior, number 3, Sophia Denton. And for Newell-Fonda at guard, a 5'7" sophomore, number 12, Ellie Sievers. For St. Albert at guard, a 5'5" junior, number 5, Eleanor Coughlin. And for Newell-Fonda at guard, a 5'6" senior, number 20, Moraine Brabeck. For St. Albert at guard, a 5'11" senior, number 23, Molly Weiss. And for Newell-Fonda at guard, a 5'7" junior, number 32, Riley Hografe. For St. Albert at forward, a 5'11" junior, number 25, Brooklyn Rutledge. And for Newell-Fonda at guard, a 5'9" senior, number 44, Ava Vi. For St. Albert at center, a 6' senior, number 41, Ava Underwood. And for Newell-Fonda at forward, a 6' senior, number 54, Josie Walsh. The head coach for St. Albert is Dick Wentengel. The head coach for Newell-Fonda is Dick Jungers. The floor officials for today's game are Rob Ratchford, Nathan Starr, Casey Hoford, and the bench official is John Morrow. Welcome, St. Albert and Newell-Fonda, to the 2026 Iowa Girls Basketball State Tournament.
Well, we are ready to get this one started today as St. Albert, a 22-3 record, the defending Class 1A Girls Basketball State Champions, against Newell-Fonda, 23-2. They've been in the state championship game in each of the last 3 seasons. They haven't won it since 2021. They'll be looking to change that here if they can get past St. Albert. Of course, when they met in the championship game last year, it went to double overtime. So will 32 minutes be enough? Well, you'll just have to stick around with us this afternoon and find out. As St. Albert goes quickly to the basket, and Denton can't quite hit the layup. This is going to be the pace we'll see all day, Tammy.
Absolutely. They'll be heading straight to the basket, looking for quick opportunities, and that defense is also going to help control that pace because both are very tough, and that always affects the way the offense plays as well.
Brabeck inside, still gets the shot over the defender, and the rebound's out off the Saints, and it'll stay with Newell-Fonda. Yeah, both teams very familiar with this play style. They want to run and gun. They want to pressure each other, and that makes things that much more challenging as we get a takeaway right here by the Saints. Up ahead to Denton, and she has to back it out. St. Albert will set the ball up top with Wise, and now over to Coughlin. Had 8 points on Wednesday against Exira Elkhorn Kimballton. To throw it up top, Rutledge to the charity stripe and banks it home.
It's a nice look there by Brooke and Rutledge. She's so athletic and versatile. She's able to get that mid-range touch, just elite touch there.
Yeah, Coach Weddingill says she has such great touch. 15 feet out, kind of that lost art of the mid-range game. She shows it there. Tough entry pass, stolen away. St. Albert has such good active hands so far.
Really scrappy defense here by the Saints.
Coughlin runs it up. Kicks to the corner. Rutledge to the basket. Can't quite hit. The putback. Still no good. There are those second chances paying off for the Saints, and Ava Underwood goes to the line.
Yeah, Newell-Fonda's got to back them up. They've got to get a body on them and back them up out of that zone, or they're just going to keep getting their own rebounds and putting them back up. And here they didn't get the bucket, but something good happened. They get to the line.
Yeah, Ava Underwood, who had 17 rebounds. It's part of the win over Exira EHK. She knocks down the first. Yeah, what an impressive performance that was. She came into the tournament averaging a double-double, so that has only gone up here.
Right.
Second one for Underwood. And she puts that one through the cup. Perfect trip, and the Saints lead by 4. Now here's that pressure from St. Albert. They can finally set up in it. Newell-Fonda runs it up the floor. This is Ellie Sievers all the way inside with the dish out to the corner. That one misses, and the Saints, they want to turn and burn. Here they come. Wise to the cup for 2.
So quick up the court there with that fast break right into more pressure defense here in the full court.
Tough defense. Bad pass. It's gone back to the Saints.
Saints forcing that turnover, getting themselves here another opportunity.
Dick Jungers did pop up off his bench as we do take a look at this, how quickly they are able to move up the floor.
And such good control there at the end with the left hand.
Yeah, and you get going that fast, it's tough to get a good layup going. Good crossover by Coughlin, chased from behind and tipped right to the Saints.
Relentless defense. It's quite a skill. These schools are very good at breaking the press, but they're really also very good at putting that pressure defense on. Beautiful tip in there.
And it's Rutledge who cleans up the miss from Underwood that time. It's an 8-0 start for St. Albert. And now Newell-Fonda is in trouble, and Coach Jungers has to use a timeout. Boy, this is not the typical kind of start you expect from Newell-Fonda. They have been turning the basketball over and giving up fast break opportunities.
Right, here we see, again, great look here. And put back tip in there by Rutledge. Yeah, you're right, Daniel. Newell-Fonda normally comes out so strong, and here a little bit on their heels, turning it over, not like them. They're just going to have to settle down. They're able to break the press. They've seen plenty of presses this year. They'll be able to do that and settle into their offense as well.
We marveled in the quarterfinal game Newell-Fonda had against St. Ansgar on Wednesday how they were able to turn a team over so much and not turn it over themselves. They've already committed 3 turnovers here in the first 2 minutes and change, and they had only 9 turnovers against the St. Ansgar Saints earlier here in the state tournament. So that's got to be cleaned up. We'll see what the Mustangs have in store. It's almost an entire new unit. They've got a few changes in as Quinn Sievers looks off the defender. She's swatted away by Rutledge, but she stepped out. The Mustangs will keep it.
Great take there by Quinn Sievers. Just really, she's outsized down there, but she is fearless, taking it all the way to the basket. Nice swat there by Sievers here. We'll see it again.
Yeah, Rutledge came in on help defense and turned it away. Just stepped on that end line, though. And they are going to talk about whether or not the shot clock should be reset. It is at 35 currently. But was there a change of possession is what our officials are figuring out. And they have determined, I think, that it does need to change. But where to is the big question. So we got everybody. What's that, 9? Okay, 9 seconds on the shot clock here for Newell-Fonda to work with. Quinn Sievers will set up for the inbound. She gets it in there to Vi. And now short time. Newell-Fonda's got to get a shot off. Ellie Sievers hits the rim, and Rutledge the board. Oh, nearly thrown away. It is thrown away. Quinn Sievers over to Ellie. Gets it out of the corner. Good skip pass. Stepping into a 3. And it's Perman who can't hit. Saints again with another rebound.
Great grab there by Coughlin to end the possession.
Couldn't quite convert on the other side, though. Wise misses that shot. And Newell-Fonda's back up the floor with the freshman Quinn Sievers. Out around the horn, Vi. Back to Ellie Sievers. She thought about it. Works inside instead with a jump stop. And still can't hit. Underwood tracks it down. And look at the post player going coast to coast for 2.
Ava Underwood can do that. She is a 6-foot senior. She's headed to Wayne State to continue her career next year. Really nice to be able to see that post player be able to put it on the ground, finish it off.
Runs the fast break so well for the Saints, who lead it by double digits over the perennial power Newell-Fonda. The kick out, corner 3, still won't go as the Mustangs are 0 for 7 from the floor. Bad pass. This one's easily stolen away. Vi, basically uncontested, still can't hit.
You know, normally, Daniel, I'd say nerves, but here I think it's adrenaline.
Yes.
They're not nervous. They're very accustomed to the state tournament, but that adrenaline is going so high here.
Oh, what a cut and a pass, and it's Denton for 2.
The Saints able to capitalize while the Mustangs are kind of trying to settle down here.
Yeah, they need to get a shot to go. Here's Quinn from the outside, and the freshman helps get the lid off the basket.
And probably that's all that it's going to take. You know, sometimes you just need that score to kind of get that confidence, be on the board here.
Now here comes Newell-Fonda's pressure. They usually set up out of a made basket. And Underwood walked. A travel by St. Albert. And we will get a hockey line change here. 7 new players check in. They are all our IMT insurance substitutions. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT by visiting IMTINS.com.
Newell-Fonda plays a lot of players, and they played 9 players a couple days ago. They just go really deep. Just a testament to the dynasty that they have had for so many years there at Newell-Fonda.
Yeah, if you're wearing a blue and white jersey, you're going to play at some point. That's what we found out when we come here. That's why, you know, some teams you need to learn about 7 or 8 names. For Newell-Fonda, you need to know about 12 at least, and that's a good one to know there. Paige Erickson for 3 in the corner. So St. Albert now again, trying to work through the D, but it's stolen by Walsh. Now Quinn Sievers loses the handle, and we've got a scrum for the basketball. It'll be Newell-Fonda possession with the arrow. Boy, back and forth we go in this Class 1A state semifinal as we take a look at this 3 that Newell-Fonda gets from Paige Erickson. Great shot in the corner on the feed by Quinn Sievers. Hograve tried to lob it up over the top. No chance for Walsh to track it down. St. Albert with a fresh unit out there brings the ball up. They go down low. The up and under, and the reverse layup won't go for Ryan.
Nice defensive stop there by the Mustangs.
Quick up ahead. Hograve gets fouled. She'll shoot 2.
The pace of this game, just quick, up and down. Even when it's moving a little bit slow, there's that full court pressure that is slowing it down. Takes a lot of energy.
So 2 shots upcoming for Hograve. Knocks down the first. She had 12 points, one of the 3 Mustangs that scored in double figures. As we take a look at Dick Weddingell, the head coach of St. Albert. Of course, winning the state title last year for the Saints, their only state championship in school history, and they did so in double overtime fashion, as we've alluded to throughout our broadcast already. Second one misses the mark, and the Saints are there with the board from Darrington. Good defense in the backcourt from Ellie Sievers. Coming our way toward this table. This is going to be tough to get it across. They do just in time. But then Wall still takes it away from the Saints.
The Mustangs are so good at that full court defense. Everyone has to be involved, and their post players are not afraid to get out there into those passing lanes and disrupt.
Walsh just ripped the ball away. How about that finish?
She is really strong. She is a softball pitcher for the Mustangs, and she's got that strength, able to finish there against defenders, no problem.
She likes the contact. She's a strong physical post player. That's what Coach Jungers says. And Moraney Brabeck takes it away for Newell-Fonda. Chance to tie it. They'll settle for one. And one more.
Newell-Fonda now finding that stride. Had to get the lid off the basket, and now they're rolling.
How about the finish for Brabeck? She took it herself along the end line. Just such a quick first step.
Absolutely. Just a beautiful floating shot there at the end, up and over the defender.
So an and one free throw for Moraney Brabeck, who, will not maybe put up the stats that you come to see as she does hit the and one free throw. And just like that, we're tied. But she is such a difference maker with her speed, her ability to defend, and certainly someone you love to have on the floor. St. Albert has let what was a 10-0 ball game get trimmed to a tie contest. They'll try and get it back. Rutledge pulls up. Another mid-range shot. Doesn't go. Roberts, the board. And the Mustangs into the half court with a chance at the lead. Ellie Sievers wants it all and gets it all from long range.
Ellie Sievers loves to see an open shot there from that three-point range, and she's going to make it count.
What a turnaround as Newell-Fonda's gone on a 15-2 run to take a 3-point lead. What a pass over there, and what a shot. Boy, it seems like Newell-Fonda's been a totally different team out of the timeout. Anything you can kind of pinpoint as to why?
Not necessarily. I really think it was that adrenaline coming into the game. There's a lot of emotion involved here when you're having this kind of rematch from that double overtime game before, and so probably just settling down a little bit. Making that first basket was critical, and then I think they're just remembering, hey, we're Newell-Fonda.
We've done this before. we know how to handle this. It is also worth noting that these two teams did meet up in Council Bluffs on January 13th. Newell-Fonda pulled out a 51-47 win earlier this season, so not only do you have the championship, but you do have a regular season matchup that has proven these two teams are very formidable opponents. Well, that's a tough pass through a lot of traffic. It'll stay with the Saints on the Mustang deflection.
Yeah. Underwood was double teamed there under the basket. Tough lob pass to make.
How about the swing we've had? A 10-0 start for the Saints, then a 15-2 run since for Newell-Fonda. Oh, and a bad pass into the backcourt, out of bounds. St. Albert turns it over back to Newell-Fonda, who can increase that lead past a possession. Newell-Fonda, by the way, was 0 of 7 from the field. Since then, they are 5 of 6 shooting as a team. And they made 3 straight threes without a miss in that stretch. Quinn Sievers putting on the moves and getting fouled on her way to the cup.
Saw an avenue there. St. Albert steps in to stop the drive, but not without that contact.
So they do get the foul on St. Albert, the third for them as a team in this quarter. And the Saints will make another quick change with an IMT insurance substitution. It's Maeve Ryan into the ballgame. Inbound to Ellie Sievers. The step through. Over Underwood, around and down.
Beautiful over move there. Ellie Sievers, so athletic. Yeah. She does volleyball, track, softball, cross country. She does it all.
Yeah, state qualifier in cross country, by the way, as well. So she excels in all those sports, too. As Coughlin runs it off glass. No good. Newell-Fonda the board. And all of a sudden, we've flipped the momentum fully in this game, but a travel by Ava Vai gives the Saints another shot.
The Saints now looking to settle down and kind of get their nerves under control here. After a run that can be hard, when that momentum shifts, it can have a really big mental impact on a team. So they just need to remember their game and what they were doing those first several possessions.
Yeah, they've been there, done that. They beat Newell-Fonda for the championship last year, and now Tough defense in the backcourt, and Walsh stole it away.
Walsh is so good about getting up in those passing lanes.
Oh, this is a moonshot from Severs. It won't go. How about the effort on the rebound? St. Albert the board. Got 5 seconds left. Going to have to throw up a prayer. Underwood missed just short. And so we will go into the second quarter with Newell-Fonda scoring 17 of the last 19 points. They lead by 5 in a state semifinal. Stick around. We're back with the second quarter in just a moment on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
From homeowners to small businesses, Iowa banks know what it means to invest in the future. Their customer relationships are built on shared values and earned trust. Iowa Banks, your partner through it all. Alongside Tammy Blackstone, my partner today, I'm Daniel Versteg. What a first quarter. St. Albert up 10-0. Newell-Fonda comes back and scores 17 of 19 points to take a 5-point lead into the second quarter. And it's crazy to think that's not the biggest swing of momentum we've had in the state tournament this week. It's been a wild week in Des Moines. We're glad you've been with us all throughout the fun festivities of the Girls State Basketball Tournament once again. This is our final broadcast on the digital network this week. Iowa PBS will take over the championship game starting later tonight as Newell-Fonda with a takeaway, and Ellie Severs turns up the floor. Missed a layup, and the Saints the board. So here they come with Coughlin. Works her way through the Mustang traffic. Underwood funnels inside. Rutledge still can't hit. There's a lid on the Saint basket now as Denton gets it off there.
The fast breaking of these teams is just really impressive. Oh, taken away.
Saints set it up. Underwood kicks to the corner for the tie. Won't go. And Newell-Fonda tracks it down. Oh, the pass thrown off the side of the glass, and then Severs is fouled by Denton. Boy, we've had just a little bit of everything in this first 9 minutes of game action.
Everyone gets a turn to have their big run.
Yep, exactly. We've got runs. We've got, everything so far. Newell-Fonda now stolen away. What an effort by Coughlin. She'll get it back in the corner and back out on the wing to Wise. If you look away from the game for a moment, you're going to miss something. Now, I'll just tell you that. You got to keep your eyes peeled. As this ball goes out off of St. Albert, it will go to the Mustangs for now, anyway.
For now. See this tough man-to-man pressure here by the Saints.
Yeah, they are really making Newell-Fonda earn their keeps up the floor. Here's Ellie Severs. She breaks away from the Saint defense and now has to stop. And then go over to Quinn Severs. Sets things up all the way out near midcourt. Good pass to the corner. Ellie Severs, jab step. Throws it out. And on the wing there is Hograve trying to set something up with the shot clock inside of 10. Quinn Severs, step back tray, won't hit. Rebound Rutledge.
Rutledge is so good on those boards there. She is surrounded by 3 Mustangs.
Finds a way to draw a foul in there as well. Excellent job by Rutledge, who started her high school career in Council Bluffs at Lewis Central and then came over to St. Albert to play with the Saints. And now St. Albert down by 3. Now we've gone from St. Albert going on a run, Newell-Fonda going on a run, to really nobody going on a run as we've only had 2 points in the first 2 minutes of this quarter. pass to Rutledge. She is bumped down by Walsh, and foul will be called against the Mustangs once again. Their second as a team in this quarter. Excuse me, their first. No, it is their second. So St. Albert back in possession of the ball. They're the only ones that have scored so far in this second quarter. And we'll see if they can add on to that and maybe bring this even closer than 3 points.
We mentioned all the second chance points St. Albert had earlier this week, but they also had a lot of points in the paint, 28 points in the paint. So they're great at what they're doing right here, which is that pick up, that rebound from the outside shot. Rutledge finishing it off down low.
A little bit of best of both worlds. That's a second chance point and a point in the paint for Rutledge. As now Ellie Sievers, deep shots, won't go, no chance. Rebound out of bounds to the Saints. Marini Brabeck will check into the ball game for Newell-Fonda head coach Dick Jungers. It is a quick IMT insurance substitution as the Mustangs have been here before. They've been in the state championship game 3 years in a row and 7 times in the last 8 seasons coming into the state tournament. It is a run of success that I don't know if it could be matched again. It is so impressive what Newell-Fonda has done as Underwood goes for the lead, kicks instead to Maeve Ryan. And out to Wise, back to Rutledge, inside look. Underwood, the spin move, off glass.
With contact, able to put it in, just keeping control on the top half of her body where she was getting pushed there.
And St. Albert leads as Quinn Sievers pulls up, gets the friendly roll.
Yeah, you can sometimes make them pay there when they're playing that full court defense, able to break through, and then you got numbers.
St. Albert basketball as the Saints take it up the floor. Maeve Ryan into the half court. And goes over to Molly Wise. Now we're starting to trade buckets and get into a really gritty ball game as Quinn Sievers steals it. Lets the Saints get it right back. Lobbing down low. Ryan has to back it out. Underwood take it away, but with a foul. And so the Saints will set up once again.
No pass is safe in this game. There are hands everywhere.
Now this was the basket from Ava Underwood that gave the Saints the lead just a moment ago. And a nice spin and finish down low. And as you said as well, through some contact. So Newell-Fonda still with a 1-point lead, though, as they were able to get a basket the other way. They'll go to Underwood again. One dribble all the way in. And she scores with a foul.
Great finish there by Underwood. She has the school's rebounding record. She scored 1,000 points. Again, headed to Wayne State to continue her career. Really nice finish. Yeah. Did she need the dribble? A post player would tell you no.
No.
But that's all right. She made it work.
Well, as you know from your time in the post, you put the ball down, you lose your height advantage.
Exactly, yep. Don't give away your advantage.
She'll still take the 3 points, however it comes. As Quinn Sievers wants the 3 off the dribble. Saints get the board. And now it's Lexi Pierce to the backcourt who turns and gives to Coughlin. Back up ahead. And the Saints with a chance to add to their lead as Underwood dribbles it off the Mustangs and Newell-Fonda takes it away. Yep. Double dribble. Quinn Sievers, second thought, her pass. And Dick Jungers, the head coach of Newell-Fonda, wants a timeout here midway through the second quarter. Saints up by 2. And Newell-Fonda needs to work things over. The last timeout the Mustangs took, it worked out pretty well. We'll see how this one goes. And the remainder of the second quarter comes your way next on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
A look inside the Newell-Fonda huddle as they take their second timeout, and we welcome you back to our broadcast here on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, alongside Tammy Blackstone. I'm Daniel Versteg. Now, St. Albert is trying to claw some momentum back, and they're doing it on the back of one of their stars. Ava Underwood has been so good inside the painted area.
Absolutely. She has 9 points, and, a lot of those points are coming, again, with those second chance opportunities. What I'm seeing here in the stats is the rebounding. St. Albert is out-rebounding the Mustangs 18-8.
Ooh.
So they are creating these opportunities for themselves, getting those chances for Underwood and others to score.
Yeah, that is significant and is certainly making a difference. Underwood, she is fearless as she scores 2 more. That is 10 points for Ava Underwood. She needed the entire game earlier this week to get there. Now has 10 in the first half as Quinn Sievers sets it up on the wing. Newell-Fonda might have gotten away with a travel. At least the St. fans think so, as St. Albert gets the takeaway anyway. Here comes St. Albert. Pass inside to Underwood. And Ava goes back to work and kicks it to the wing. That's a 3 for Lexi Pierce.
She's really good at that 3-pointer. She's scored. She actually made 9 of those in one game earlier this season.
Here's a deep 3 for Newell-Fonda. It won't go. Quinn Sievers there. Pulls up from the charity stripe. The rebound out off St. Albert. Back to Newell-Fonda. The Saints are on an 8-0 run. As we take a look at this, you get such dominating performances from Ava Underwood. Controls the defense and kicks it out.
Absolutely. That's really just smart play, good teamwork, being able to see your teammate when an easier opportunity might present itself.
Lobbing it in. Tough to get there for Madeline Vanderhoff, who's in for the first time this week. Here's Brabeck. Stolen away, just ripped out of the hands of Brabeck. Darrington has possession, and the Saints get a timeout call.
St. Albert there with such tough defense.
A really nice job, and Coach Weddingell able to save the possession with a timeout. That's one of those kind of plays that it might be early to, use a timeout to save the possession, but it could swing so much momentum when you're already on an 8-0 run.
Yeah, what we've learned already today is that momentum is important. We've seen both these teams have these runs, and so, you trust these coaches. They've got a lot of experience, and they know their team, and if they need to make that save by burning a timeout, we trust them to do it.
Those Newell-Fonda fans enjoying how things are going here at the state tournament. There's a lot of folks in blue from Buena Vista County. As St. Albert fans made their way from Pottawatomie County, they are very quickly becoming familiar foes on the girls' basketball hardwood. And now St. Albert will have the ball following the timeout. Each side has used 2 of the 5 timeouts they've been granted. And now we have a conversation with our astute refereeing crew. If it were me, it'd be a lot about what we're having for supper later, but I'm always thinking about food, so that's probably part of the issue. I think they're talking about the shot clock, though. It says 25. I don't know if that's where it should be. Had a couple shot clock issues today, but they're working it out. And it's up to 31. There you go.
See Newell-Fonda set up here in that full court defense. They run several different sets in the full court, mix it up.
Coughlin, a good outlet, and she gets it to Ryan. Pierce wants another. Can't quite go. Fight for the board. Back to Newell-Fonda. Here comes Quinn Sievers, the freshman, to the cup with touch, and it goes with a foul.
She has been bringing it up the court. She has been the general all day here today against a tough defense. Again, she is a freshman. We'll see it here again. She kind of does it all. Bringing it up, able to finish with that beautiful floater and roll in.
Yeah, that thing had to do a full victory lap around the rim and finish in with a free throw that is just as entertaining on its way through the basket. 3-point play, the old-fashioned way for Quinn Sievers. And now the Saints quickly up ahead. They get it down low to Darrington. And it's kicked out by Brabeck. So here we are late in the second quarter. St. Albert's 8-0 run they had built up has now been broken with a 3-point play by Newell-Fonda. Mustangs would certainly love to get some defense going and see if they can make this a one-score game once again. Inbound into Pierce. Coughlin had a bit of a mismatch. Blows by Roberts to the bucket.
Sliced right through 2 defenders there. Beautiful take to the basket.
6-point lead for St. Albert. And Brabeck pressured in the backcourt. Sievers gets it up top. They go to Ellie Sievers. She wants the triple. That's a fight for the board. Underwood wins those 9 times out of 10. And now here she comes, running the point. We've seen her do that so well. The pass up ahead is off Newell-Fonda, stays with the Saints. We've got such a good defensive team. They are all over the floor as we get another look at this outstanding spin move. What a great step around the defender. Coughlin hits that one. Saints up 6, chance to extend it. Back down to Coughlin. Won't go. Put back with a foul. And the Saints will put Lexi Darrington on the line for 2.
The tough pass there underneath to the weak side through a lot of defenders, kind of risky, but then once again they got that rebound, leading to something good. Got themselves at the line.
2 shots for Lexi Darrington. It's not been the best season of the free throw line. Unfortunately, that first one kind of shows why. 42% this year for Darrington, but a chance to hopefully turn that around a little bit here at the right time for the defending champion Saints. And she does turn it around with the second one that goes in, as Brooklyn Rutledge will now replace Lexi Darrington in a quick IMT insurance substitution. 7-point St. Albert lead, and now it's stolen away, but Coughlin couldn't quite stay in bounds. It'll be Newell-Fonda ball.
Great effort there by Coughlin.
They are so intense on the inbound pass. They're all over the Mustangs. Giving Newell-Fonda a little taste of their own medicine here as Ellie Sievers blows by the Saint defense. Can't score, but she will go to the line.
It's the right tactic. When you got to make them pay for. There is a price for putting on that full court tough defense. And this, if you get by it, you got numbers. So that's the right move there by Macy Sievers by taking it all the way to the basket.
So Sievers will go to the line and try and trim this 7-point deficit down. She does knock down shot number 1. As the Mustangs do bring in Paige Erickson into the contest. Second one. It's good. So now it's a 5-point game in favor of St. Albert late in this second quarter. And the Saints take it across. Coughlin with the kick out. Pierce, good head fake. Splits a double team. Turned away down low by 5. Ellie Sievers back up the floor. Here she comes. Out to Erickson. That's short. She knew it right away. And the Saints on the run out again. Poked away, but right to Rutledge. Fortuitous bounce for the Saints. Pass inside to Underwood. Rutledge from the outside. Not that time. Mustangs back up the floor quickly. The shot clock still in play as the Saints poke the ball out of bounds.
First half winding down. Both teams looking to get a couple more points on the board before they head into the locker room.
Yeah, I feel like this is a big possession for the Mustangs, Tammy.
I think it is too. I think that 5-point game right now, if you can trim that a bit, that's really going to help your momentum. And this is a game that's going to come probably down to every point.
And as of right now, Newell-Fonda will get the ball to start the second half. That's barring any held ball situations in the next 25 seconds. As they kick it out to Ellie Sievers. She's inside, runs it off glass. No, Roberts put back with a foul. She'll shoot 2.
Good grab there by Ella Roberts. A nice try to put that back. She's just a sophomore, very hard worker.
Extremely good off the bench. Had 9 points in the victory over St. Ansgar on Wednesday. She had 5 rebounds off the bench in their region final against George Little Rock. First one is good for Roberts.
Normally when you think about these great players coming off the bench, you assume that's a big school, right? A big school can only choose 5. You think a small school, you're not going to have that kind of strength coming off the bench. Not the case for Newell-Fonda, also not the case for St. Albert. But really, Newell-Fonda just goes so deep.
Yeah, you can make the argument that the 2 deepest teams in this state tournament are playing on the floor right now in Class 1A. That's how impressive these 2 programs are. As we do get a foul, that is the 5th against Newell-Fonda. And so that will be 2 free throws coming for the Saints here late in the second quarter. As St. Albert tries to extend that lead above 3 points once again. They'll try and do so with Eleanor Coughlin at the line. And I'm sure the Mustangs have had some nightmares about her shot that she hit late in regulation to tie the game against Newell-Fonda in the state championship contest.
She forced that overtime, leading to their ultimate win.
And then they had to play a second one as well. There's an offensive rebound off the miss. And the Saints get another try. Pierce off the dribble. And it's Newell-Fonda with the rebound. Short time for the Mustangs. With 3 seconds left, Quinn Sievers gets some space. Throws it over to the corner. They got it off. Erickson, too much. And we'll go to the halftime break. St. Albert in a Class 1A state semifinal leads Newell-Fonda by 4. It is a rematch of last year's state championship, trying to figure out who will play Bishop Garrigan coming up tomorrow night. Stay tuned. Our halftime coverage will continue in just a moment on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Oh, it looks like you spilled some grease.
Grills are multiplying and you need flavor that's bold.
There's nothing left for you to do
but to go to Fairway, your dream for Midwest meat. It's the one you need. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, you better stake up. Fairway and meat go hand in hand.
This dream is meant for you and me.
Poultry, pork, and beef, your home for Midwest meat. It's the one you need. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, yes, indeed.
Fairway, it's the one you need.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/WeCare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
Excuse me, man. You dropped this.
Health powers life, from the delightfully routine to the truly uncharted. Sometimes life takes an unexpected turn, like receiving a cancer diagnosis. At Mercy One, you have access to a team of cancer experts with advanced technologies and holistic therapies for the cancer care you need close to home. Our team will guide you every step of the way, ensuring you're ready no matter what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family, Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
It takes a village to care for a patient. From all of the various people, if you come see us, that you'll meet. Every one of those people, we try to get people that are committed to making that the best experience that they can do.
I think the breadth of coverage that we're able to provide, I think is unique. All of these different facets that all intertwine are what allow us to take care of the community the way that I feel they should.
At DMOS, we're here when you need us.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Back inside the Casey Center in Des Moines with Tammy Blackstone, Daniel Versteg with you. You're taking a look at the Academic All-State honorees for girls basketball. They are getting their plaques and recognition here today in front of the crowd in a Class 1A state semifinal. St. Albert has a 4-point lead over Newell-Fonda in this state semifinal. Winner plays Bishop Garrigan tomorrow night for the Class 1A state championship. Let's see how things have gone in this first half of play, and we'll take a look at our statistics brought to you by Sioux Cup Seed. And, well, it's we've seen the tempo be up and down, and I think the amount of shot attempts would certainly show that. I mean, we've had 57 shot attempts in this first half. It just has been such a back-and-forth ball game.
Yeah, it has been. It's made it to be a really exciting game to watch as well. But, yeah, putting up 30 shots, 27 shots, and a good number of those falling as well. But, yeah, it's been a really fast-paced game, and those field goal attempts have been aided, of course, by these rebounds that we're seeing. We're seeing 14 defensive rebounds for St. Albert's and 8 offensive ones, and they are winning that rebounding war.
And if we go a little deeper, St. Albert scored 9 second chance points off of those offensive rebounds, so that goes back to what you mentioned in the pregame. Not only are they just getting second chances, they're capitalizing on them as well.
Right. I really have noticed that St. Albert is really good at boxing out. They find their girl, they put their back into them, and they push them back. Newell-Fonda is going to need to do that a little bit more in this second half and push those St. Albert Saints out of that lane to prevent those tall players from getting those boards.
Ava Underwood, 11 points, leads St. Albert at the break. And Quinn Sievers off the bench, having a great start for Newell-Fonda. She's got 8 points and 2 assists. Those are your statistics. They're brought to you by Sioux Cup Seed. And now we're taking a look at those regional coaches of the year for girls basketball that are also being recognized here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament. We will take a break and come back. We've got the second half of action coming your way in just a few moments. It's St. Albert leading Newell-Fonda by 4 at the Girls State Basketball Tournament, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau with live coverage on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
We hope you're enjoying all the great competition you're seeing here today. At the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we're grateful for the incredible support that makes this event possible. None more vital or valued than the proud title sponsor, Iowa Farm Bureau. With me here today is Brent Johnson, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau, to explain why their organization invests in and supports the Girls Union.
Thanks, Aaron. The Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for more than 2 decades now. The athletes competing here today represent the very best of our nation's student athletes, driven, dedicated, and committed to teamwork. At the Iowa Farm Bureau, we share those same values. Our farmers lead the nation not only in the production of corn, hogs, eggs, and ethanol, but also in the implementation of a number of innovative soil and water conservation practices which hold soil in place and reduce runoff. These shared values unite Iowa's student athletes and farm families, and our partnership with the Girls Union gives us the perfect opportunity to celebrate that commitment to excellence statewide.
Thank you, Brent. We appreciate the Iowa Farm Bureau's ongoing support and the role you play in helping Iowa's girls shine.
We're back inside the Casey Center here in Des Moines alongside Tammy Blackstone, Daniel Versteg with you. It's halftime, and St. Albert holds a 4-point lead over Newell-Fonda, Class 1A state semifinal. The winner will get the right to face off with the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears, who have looked downright dominant this week with double-digit victories in all of their contests so far. And, of course, that championship is our final girls basketball game of the season in the state of Iowa. It will tip off at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. We have talked a lot through the first half, Tammy, about momentum and the runs that these two teams have went on. It feels like, to us anyway, that whoever gets the better start here in the third quarter could go a long way to winning this game.
It does. These are two excellent teams, and both have the ability to go on a run here. But I agree with you, Daniel, that it's kind of going to be who comes out of the gate ready to go with the most fire and the most control. And it's going to take both of those things, because these teams, both of them, there's no shortage of fire, but you got to have that along with that control and that ability to convert everything you're doing on defense, all that swarming you're doing, into points on the other end.
And we've talked about how that control is so impressive that these two teams are able to have with how fast-paced they are. We see so many times a player's running down floor with the ball and they're getting going too fast, and they go in for a layup, and their momentum just kicks it off the backboard too hard, and they don't get the shot to drop. So the fact that they can control their speed and not play a million miles an hour is just that much more impressive.
Yeah, it really is. And it goes to the experience of these teams. They've been here before. They play tough schedules. They also, every day in practice with these teams is a tough game, and that's just such a benefit of having such a strong, deep roster.
Boy, I would love to be a fly on the wall for one of these two, either of these two teams and their practice, with just how intense it must be. And boy, that's why these two teams are so successful and why they are at the state tournament year in and year out. Of course, Newell-Fonda is trying to get into the championship contest for the 8th time in the last 9 seasons. They haven't won it at all since 2021. They've been runner-up 3 years in a row, while St. Albert is looking to repeat as a state champion in Class 1A, something Newell-Fonda knows a lot about. They won 3 state titles in a row from 2019 to 2021. So, second half, just about ready to get underway. We're glad you kept it tuned in with us for our halftime coverage today from the Casey Center in Des Moines, and the final half of the semifinal round. And our coverage here on the Girls Union Digital Network is just about ready to begin. We're glad you've been able to tune in with us all throughout the week. It's been a great week of the Girls State Basketball Tournament. Let's have another fun 16 minutes and see who will play for the 1A title. The Mustangs go right away to the top of the key. Vi misses that 3. Walsh the board, and she finishes.
Great cleanup there by Josie Walsh, being in the right spot, going for it.
So one possession game right away. And that's certainly helping contribute to a hot start potentially for Newell-Fonda. St. Albert will have a response here as Rutledge gets it in the corner. Gets away from Walsh, and Walsh swats her away from behind.
Good defense there, just being very aware of the ball, careful not to foul.
And what a recovery by Walsh, who was beaten on that first step and then found a way to alter the shot still. Saints look inside, and we get the deflected ball out of bounds. Vi all over the inbound. Saints will re-inbound with a 2-point lead, and still their first possession of the second half, so they are working through their opportunities. Inbound goes into Underwood. Takes it to the rack. Missed it. The rebound. It's Newell-Fonda's. And the Mustangs will have a chance to tie or take the lead. Severs works in. Feeds the cutting Walsh. Missed it strong. She's fouled. 2 upcoming for Josie Walsh.
Walsh having a great beginning of the first half on the offensive and defensive ends, just being able to make things happen for herself.
So Walsh, the senior, as you mentioned earlier, she pitches on the softball diamond for Newell-Fonda, a softball program that has been very successful. We see them down in Fort Dodge regularly, and she's certainly part of a reason why. First free throw, good. Second one, can't quite tie the game. And the Saints keep the board. Here comes St. Albert with that quick athleticism from Coughlin into the corner. It won't go. Rutledge, another O board. And Coughlin will reset.
The Saints here taking their time, looking for the right opportunity.
Oh, there it is. There's a little pick and roll, but now a triple team collapses on Wise.
It's amazing how fast 3 people can go from wide open to having 3 people.
They just come out of nowhere. They come out from underneath the floor, it feels like sometimes. And Newell-Fonda is going to get this ball back out of a St. Albert giveaway. Coach Weddingill not super pleased with the first minute and a half of play. And the Mustangs will go to work. They get it in and find Hograve, who splits around the defense. Out to Vi. Wants a big 3 make. Doesn't go. And the Saints will bring it back. Still leading this one. Here comes Denton. Fouled from behind as she hits the deck hard.
Denton, they're trying to make him pay for that pressure. Getting herself to the line.
She's been one of those pieces for St. Albert, of course, the defending state champions, where Coach Weddingill has said she's kind of been a surprise as a starter for them. She's been able to score at will, and of course, they didn't really get a chance to see her much last season because she missed a lot of the year with a back injury, so I think that's part of the reason why she's been a surprise. As this shot misses down low, and Ellie Severs runs it up, looking to take the lead, and she does.
Nice control there. The smallest player on the court, Quinn Severs, grabbed that rebound among much taller players, and Ellie takes it up and finishes it.
Out in the corner. Oh, a good drive by Pierce. Little teardrop for the bucket.
Really nice look there by Pierce. You know, she's that 3-point specialist. I've seen her give that up a couple of times here today in favor of the drive and getting yourself a better opportunity.
Of course, here at the state tournament, people know how to scout, and so they will know we got to get out on this girl. And we've seen a lot of those throughout the season. The 3-point specialists, they've had to drive, and otherwise they're going to be a non-factor throughout the game.
Sure, yep.
So Newell-Fonda will set up for the inbound and trail by 1 as the Mustangs have jumped down to a better start, but still find themselves down. Past Quinn Severs, recovered. And here comes the freshman. Out to Brabeck. Oh, just puts that one up. Can't hit it. Underwood's there for the rebound. The 5th rebound of the game for Underwood. Slacking a little bit from her 17 rebound performance earlier in the tournament. Here comes Coughlin with the step through and can't connect. And now it'll be Newell-Fonda back in transition. Pass goes to Brabeck. Around 3, what a pass. Roberts misses the layup. Oh, that was a great look down low. Saints up ahead, trying to make it hurt. Can't hit. The rebound to St. Albert. They'll reload. And the drive by Wise with the runner off glass. Quinn Severs there for the rebound. Again, 5'4", and she pulls down the rebound somehow. Even when you're not gifted with the height, you could still be a force rebounding. This pass is just turned away by Underwood. Saints on the run.
The pace of this game is just relentless, just back up and down the court. We just don't see a lot of long offensive sets in this game here. The Saints able to take a little bit of a breather, find a shot, but really this game has been a run and gun.
Yeah, it's a miracle how these girls have any ability to run left. I get tired of watching these teams on the floor. Shot clock inside at 10. And the kick out. Ryan, not enough. Oh, she got her rebound. Missed the shot, but she's going to the line. What an effort by Maeve Ryan.
She's fantastic off the bench, really comes in and contributes. She's the sister of Maura Ryan, who, of course, we lost earlier in the first game of the season to an injury. She was, I believe, an all-state guard for the Saints. And so sister Maeve here carrying the torch.
Yep. Yeah, the Saints have had to fight through a ton of adversity. Maura's obviously been one of them, but they also lost junior Alexa Lenz very early in the season. You had two players that lost their entire seasons due to injury, and that's given the Saints some adversity to fight through, but they still get here to the semifinal round of the state tournament. Just shows their resilience and their ability to play for their teammates, which has been great to see. As Newell-Fonda will try and tie the game up. They've got numbers. Walsh inside. She's fouled and will shoot two. Oh, boy, Pierce did not agree with that call, but Walsh will shoot two.
Tough full court press there by the Saints, and Newell-Fonda having a little bit of trouble getting it up the court. They did it, able to get themselves to the line.
First one for Walsh. Doesn't go. Just a touch short. As Josie Walsh comes in, averaging about 9 points a game. Shoot a second one and convert. Back to a 1 point game as we are already in the late portion of the third quarter. Coughlin, she's fouled in the backcourt. I think this will be Ellie Sievers. It is. That is her third. Now we're starting to get into a little bit of foul trouble here with these two squads. Got Ellie Sievers with 3 for Newell-Fonda, and she is forced to go to the bench with an IMT insurance substitution of Paige Erickson. So St. Albert basketball in a 1 point contest. Who is going to take the upper hand late in this third quarter? Pass goes down into the corner and back around the perimeter. Wide open shot by Pierce. Can't connect, but it's Underwood who's stripped on the way up. Here comes Quinn Sievers. Oh, come on with that move. Drive inside. Walsh, great shot fake. And she's turned away by Underwood. Here come the Saints. Out to Ryan. Big three. Missed it. And the rebound for Hograve. And here they come running up the floor again. Brabeck. Erickson for the lead. Yes! Big shot from Paige Erickson and a walk, a travel. It's Newell-Fonda basketball.
Take another look here at that.
Just a spot-up shot. Great look by Erickson.
Big momentum bucket there, and then again getting the ball back on that turnover by the Saints. The Mustangs are feeling it here.
I was just about to say, she's a freshman as well. You got so many underclassmen that contribute for both of these teams, which makes them a scary thought in the next few years in Class 1A. It's the drive and dish. Vi chucks up a three. It won't go. And the rebound is fought for. St. Albert controls it. And here come the Saints. Coughlin up the floor. Dumps it inside to Underwood. Back out. Pierce gets downhill. Surveying her options. Underwood dishes it back out. Here's Coughlin once more. Nothing developing. Now Coughlin to the cup. Turned away and off the Saints. It's Newell-Fonda basketball.
Good ball movement that time by the Saints, but stellar defensive set also by the Mustangs. Let's take another look.
Yeah, this is some good ball movement, as you said, but how about this denial on the other side?
Great job there by Ava Vi.
She is a top-notch defensive player, and she shows that there. Tough defense. Good recovery by Danica Meyer. How about that? Throwing you right into the fire as Ellie Sievers drives in. Blocking foul. She'll shoot two. Oh, and Ellie Sievers is hurt. Ellie Sievers is dinged up on the play.
stepped in trying to take that charge. Probably just didn't quite have the right position.
Yeah, she landed wrong, and she's going to fight through what I can imagine is just an immense amount of pain. The toughness of the Iowa girl never ceases to amaze me. And Ellie Sievers is going to stay in there. And now, yeah, they had a substitution occur too early, so they're going to reset that. And Sievers, who's not putting a whole lot of pressure on that left leg, stepped to the line and can't quite hit the first. Now they'll check in Riley Hograve. She replaces Danica Meyer with an IMT insurance substitution.
Sievers, again, just a sophomore, state cross country, as you mentioned, Daniel. Volleyball, track, softball, obviously a star here on the basketball team. All-around athlete.
Yep. Second team All-Stater last year as a freshman in basketball. They're just, phenomenal athletes these two teams have. And we've been so fortunate to get to be alongside you for the broadcast today. Oh, and Ellie Sievers, after tweaking her leg with the steal, and St. Albert gets it right back. Here come the Saints with a court storm and stampede up the floor. Pierce, the skip pass through the hands of Wise.
We have not seen a loose ball today that doesn't have four girls going for it. Like they know every possession counts in a game like this, and they just got such energy and fire.
And there's another one. You fight for the tie-up, and a held ball possession stays with the Saints. They're going to have some short time to work with. And Moraney Brabeck will come get Ellie Sievers just to see how she's doing, I think. Just give her a little bit of a breather. And now we'll see the Saints offensive set. They go inside, and Coughlin lays it in. And it's a 1-point game again. St. Albert right there, trying to go on a run. Here comes Quinn Sievers. Stop, pop, knocks it down. Big answer for Quinn Sievers and Newell-Fonda.
That's exactly the right shot. Just seeing that open opportunity. You don't always have to take it all the way in. You don't always need a three-pointer. Sometimes that mid-range elbow shot, perfect.
Oh, good pass. Back door to the cup. Missed it. Put back. Underwood. Yes! And she's fouled.
Underwood is fired up, able to possibly turn this into a three-point play.
All off of another second chance as we take a look at how this one went. Just somehow had enough muscle to get that out of the hands of Vi, put it up, and score it. All while getting fouled. Underwood looking to tie it at the line. And she does. Knotted up late in the third quarter. And here comes Newell-Fonda in a rematch of last year's Class 1A state championship game. It went to double overtime last year. I wouldn't rule out that as a possibility today. Here comes Brabeck. Inside, tripped to the ground and fouled. This is putting the Mustangs in the bonus, so they'll shoot two. And Moraney Brabeck will go to the line for a couple. 78% free throw shooter, so you like those odds if you're Newell-Fonda. As the senior guard steps to the line and doesn't get the first.
Brabeck, also a multi-sport athlete, cross-country, volleyball, and track. She's so quick. She's really able to make things happen for her team.
Does get the second. That's the best part about doing these 1A games is once you learn the names of some of these players, you see them in softball, you see them in volleyball, you see them in track, you see them in cross-country. Heck, some of them even play, tennis. St. Albert's got a tennis program. They play golf. They really are so talented at playing every sport imaginable. And now St. Albert's got to figure out a way to get this across the timeline. They do. Short time here in the third quarter, trailing by one. Rutledge, what a skip pass. Over to Coughlin, throws it back out. Off balance three won't go. And that will take us into the fourth quarter. How about this ball game? Newell-Fonda leads it by 1. They did win the third quarter, and they have the advantage going into our final period of the semifinal round. Stay tuned. You're watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau with live coverage on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Back to the Casey Center in Des Moines with Tammy Blackstone, Daniel Versteg with you. Well, when we told you in the pregame that these two played to a double overtime championship game last year, we weren't kidding. It's a one-point game going into the fourth quarter, our final semifinal of the state tournament. And we're going to get a thriller here over the next 8 minutes of the fourth quarter of play. Here we go from Des Moines. Newell-Fonda starts with the advantage and the basketball, as Quinn Sievers is fouled right away in an early infraction against St. Albert. And that's their first of the quarter. So free throws could play a factor here late. Newell-Fonda 11 of 16. St. Albert 7 of 10. Dangerous pass. Rutledge fighting after the basketball. Quinn Sievers then gets fouled near midcourt. And it's going to be Coughlin once again. She's picked up her third.
And these players fighting for every possession. You've seen this just intense, defense for the Saints. They are not backing off to the three-point arc. If that offense is up by the half-court line, they're right up there on them.
It's already 2 quick fouls, though, for St. Albert in the first 20 seconds of this fourth quarter. Quinn Sievers will set it up. Little pick and roll to Walsh. She works inside, hooks it up, doesn't go. Rebounded Denton. Here come the Saints, back up the floor with their first possession of the final period of this one. They go into the corner for Wise. Back up top, Hograve got a hand on it. Underwood tracks it down. Here comes Underwood. Oh, and a little foul against Hograve. That'll be the first against the Mustangs. So this might get into a free throw shooting contest here very soon.
Yeah,
already picked up some quick fouls.
Yeah, you're right, Daniel. And free throws, we often see those be the difference in a game. These teams have probably not had a lot of close games this season because they're both so stellar.
Underwood inside gives the Saints the lead. Yeah, the average margin of victory for Newell-Fonda in a game is 33 points. Right. St. Albert's average margin of victory is 24. So they've
Right.
been dominating this season as the Saints take it away.
So a game coming down to free throws would be new.
Yes. Yeah, every point being a factor. That's a little foreign to these teams in the regular season. St. Albert with the lead and the ball. The defending state champions trying to get back there with a chance to repeat their title. Inside look. Poked free. Newell-Fonda's got it. And Ellie Sievers stops on a dime.
Smart move there, Ellie Sievers. 3-on-1. She's like, I'll wait.
Let's wait for some help. That's not going to go over well. Now here's Ellie with the ball again. Over to Walsh in the corner. They're going to give her that space. Walsh has only attempted 4 threes this season. Hasn't made one. Ellie Sievers inside. Ball is free. Who's got it? That'll be a held ball. Possession back to the Saints. So scoring's been a little tricky already as we do get 3 players into the ball game with an IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT by visiting IMTINS.com. It's been 2 minutes in this fourth quarter, and St. Albert's got the only 2 points of the fourth quarter.
St. Albert has only given up 6 offensive rebounds today. That's only 6 second chance opportunities for the Mustangs.
Yeah, that's been huge as they've been able to keep Newell-Fonda at bay, and now we do get a bad inbound pass. It was not touched by anybody, and so the Mustangs will keep the inbound on the baseline. Bishop Garrigan is waiting in the wings to see who they'll play tomorrow night. And now, another discussion. So we'll see what this ends up resulting in as our great crews assigned by the Girls Union figures something out. And Newell-Fonda will inbound after they've had their discussion. Quinn Sievers dumps it inside to Ellie. Step through, the kick out. Vi with a drive in, throws it up. Underwood steals it away. And here comes St. Albert. Coughlin. Oh, what a feed. Down low. Wise for 2.
Beautiful look there. Great vision of the court. Able to find your open teammate.
Quinn Sievers back the other way. She is fouled. St. Albert just picked up their 3rd foul as a team in this quarter. I think it's on Coughlin again. If it is, that's her 4th. It is Coughlin. Well, that's a big 4th foul against Eleanor Coughlin. And Newell-Fonda will have the ball down 3. And now there is a conversation happening once again at the scorer's table. It involves our official score. It involves our bench official. Oh, we had the arrow incorrect. There we go. We got that fixed, and we're ready to go. The inbound to Hograve. Over to Quinn Sievers. Looking to tie it, and she does. How is she only a freshman? Get a kick ball. Saints will keep it.
Such a confident shot. I mean, there's no hesitation. She has it. We'll see it again.
She knew right away she's getting this ball back. What a shot. Ties the game. St. Albert gets the inbound cleanly this time. The Saints take it across. Oh, a tough pass over to Pierce. Tie ball game. 5 to play. The Girls State Basketball Tournament in Iowa never disappoints. Pierce for 3. Won't go. And here comes Quinn Sievers. Tough pass. Ellie keeps it in play. The spin move. Hooked and fouled. She'll shoot 2. That's the 4th foul as well against St. Albert. And so Newell-Fonda is dangerously close to bonus territory already, but this one drawn on the shot attempt. Ellie's first doesn't go. The Mustangs now 11 of 17 from the line as a team. That is just under 65%, which is actually better than what they shoot on average throughout the season. And now Dick Wettengel, the head coach of St. Albert, has brought something to the officials' attention here.
Ellie Sievers here at the line. She's got 10 points tonight. 3 for 5 from the free throw line so far. Looking to make that 4 for 6.
Had a lot of conversations that I would love to be a third wheel in, but don't have that capability. Ellie Sievers shooting her 2nd and sinks it. So 1 of 2 at the line there for Sievers, gives the Mustangs the lead. Saints with the ball, and a foul as Wise was hounded by 3 Mustangs. Who's it on?
I think it was on Ellie Sievers.
Ooh, that'd be her 4th. It is Ellie Sievers with her 4th foul. Huge foul for the Mustangs, and Sievers checks out. Paige Erickson is in. Trying to get it in. Nobody's open. They do get it into Ryan, and here she comes. Maeve Ryan spins away. Quinn Sievers swipe into the basketball. Keep it in play. And now here comes Denton. Driving and kicking. Underwood spinning, lost it. She's fouled. That'll be the third against Newell-Fonda in this quarter as a team. And it's on Quinn Sievers, who, with how frantic she plays, has only picked up her first foul.
The Saints here have another opportunity to set up and maybe score here off an inbounds play.
Yeah, they're trying to draw
bring it out.
Can they go inside with it? There's so much traffic down low.
Underwood's working hard, but they're pushing her out so far. She's just not really under the basket.
Yeah, she was all the way on the high post, and she had to do a lot of work to get down to the block before losing the basketball.
Right.
And then, of course, by the time she's gotten around the player that's been guarding her the whole time, there's help defense there, and it's so tough to get what she wants. Saints will get a chance to set up again. Pierce throws up a three. It's no good, but the Saints have the rebound.
They do that a lot.
Yeah, you've highlighted that so much. The second chances have been wonderful. This is off Newell-Fonda. It's back to the Saints. And the folks in blue across the way don't agree with the call. And folks in green behind us say that was a great call by our official. Can only please half the folks half the time, or whatever that saying goes.
We'll just trust that we didn't have quite as good a view as the referee who was right there.
If anybody is going to make that call correctly, it's the referee right over there who's staring right at it. Here's Underwood, down inside. Denton to Ryan, wide open three ball. Too much. And Newell-Fonda with a 1-point lead, back in possession. Brabeck goes into the corner for 5. Quinn Sievers at the point. Got to set this one up. The moves. The hoop doesn't go. And the Saints get another stop. They're down 1 late in this game. Fourth quarter with not a lot of points. Ryan double dribbles. Turnover for the Saints.
Bobbled it a little bit there. Creating an opportunity here for the Mustangs.
Tough break there for St. Albert. She was trying to do the right thing, Maeve Ryan, and just could not quite keep control of the basketball. And now St. Albert has to defend, down by 1. They're doing a good job of the inbound. And Quinn Sievers does track it down. Let's look at her handles as she brings it up the floor. It's quite a show when she gets to handle the basketball like this. Sievers, a little hesitation. Out to Brabeck. Throws it out to Vi. Oh, this is a deep ball. Doesn't want to go. Rebound St. Albert. She was a few feet behind the arc. Here come the Saints. Looking for the lead. Rutledge missed it. Saints get it back. And a tie-up possession, Newell-Fonda. So back to the Mustangs.
Yeah, the last time the Mustangs were down the court, great ball movement, looking for the open player, but again, it was one and done. They had one opportunity, they missed it, and that was it. They're going to need to crash those offensive boards to get a couple opportunities here for themselves.
Had a total of 8 points in this fourth quarter. Each side has scored 4. Baskets have been hard to come by in this fourth quarter. Quinn Sievers throws it inside, out to Walsh. Drives, spins, good pivot, down low. They got a hand on it. Mustangs keep. Ellie Sievers doesn't have enough, and the Saints with the rebound with a foul on Newell-Fonda. And I think they are going to get Newell-Fonda. That is the 4th against the Mustangs, and I believe they got it on Vi. Her 3rd. And now Ellie Sievers. They're making some offense to defensive changes because they need Ellie Sievers' shooting ability, but they don't need her 5th foul.
Exactly, and that's tricky because when you play the kind of defense they do, everyone's got to be involved.
Here come the Saints. Trying to retake the lead. Rutledge catches, missed it, taps it back in.
That is her 2nd tip-in of the day. I love to see that, just that quick. No ability for the defense to get in her way.
Looked like a perfect volleyball set right off the glass. And it's 2 minutes to go in a 1-point game. Over to Walsh. Quinn Sievers bangs it in.
From that same spot there on the wing where she got her last one. Ooh.
What a save by St. Albert. And the Saints bring it back. 3 in the corner. Won't go. Oh, board by Underwood. Out to Coughlin. Here's Rutledge on the wing to Underwood. Back door. Ryan fouled. She'll shoot 2.
Great look there, high-low. That backdoor cut, finding her open.
Quinn Sievers on this big triple gives Newell-Fonda a 2-point lead. What a swing and what a shot. Now 2 big free throws for Maeve Ryan. First one, good. 1-point game.
Maeve Ryan, just a freshman. Tough to make these free throws under these pressure situations here near the end of the game, and a close one. A lot of composure.
Especially what the Ryan family's gone through. You mentioned Mora dealing with that ACL injury earlier this season. Misses the second. Underwood's got the rebound. Tried to get it to Rutledge. It's still loose. St. Albert's got it. Timeout for head coach Dick Weddinghill. How about the scrappiness of these two teams late in the fourth quarter? Newell-Fonda up by 1. We're going to take a deep breath. Stick with us. We're back in a moment on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
At American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Well, if we told you these two teams played to double overtime in the Class 1A championship game last year, this is probably where you'd expect the game to be. A 1-point contest with under 90 seconds to go in regulation with Tammy Blackstone, Miss Iowa basketball. I'm Daniel Versteg. Newell-Fonda has hit some big shots, but St. Albert's gotten so many big second chances today.
They have, and I even though they're down by 1, I feel like they've got a little bit of that momentum right now. I know I've been harping on it, but they are out-rebounding the Mustangs 43-27 in this game.
16 rebound difference. That is monumental.
It's kind of amazing that Newell-Fonda is up by 1 in this game, given that differential.
Yeah, St. Albert normally would win a game like this by a lot, but Newell-Fonda stuck with it. Here is Coughlin in the corner. Kicking to Ryan. Saints have time. Ryan drives in, meets all of Newell-Fonda, and out to Underwood. She works in, runs it up, missed it. Newell-Fonda rebound. Quinn Sievers pulls down another board. She's got 7 of them now today, and a timeout for Newell-Fonda. So the Mustangs up by 1. This is not time to foul yet, I don't believe, for St. Albert. You've got some time to play defense, especially in a 1-point game.
Yeah, St. Albert's has been really effective with their defense. They're going to play tough defense here. They're going to try to make it one and done like they have for pretty much the whole game. Give them one shot, if that, and then they'll have the ball again.
Do you harp on a mindset of no threes on this possession since you're down 1, or just play defense?
I think just play defense. I think they've been doing such a good job on defense and on the board that you don't disrupt that at this stage in the game.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, Newell-Fonda, while St. Albert is not winning the game, Newell-Fonda is 23 points under their scoring average. The Saints have done a phenomenal job defensively. They're not winning. And that might change as this game goes along. We'll see. This is going to be a fun finish. 51 seconds separates one of these two teams from a date with Bishop Garrigan tomorrow night for all the marbles in Class 1A. Here we go. Newell-Fonda basketball up by 1. The Mustangs can take this down to about 23 seconds. Walsh, inside look, up and under, missed the shot. Newell-Fonda the rebound, and a foul.
Beautiful pass there, great fight for that rebound by Quinn Sievers. Just really going for it.
See another look at that. Turned away by Underwood, and then nobody could get the rebound, and somehow Quinn came up with it. Shortest player on the floor. She somehow tracked down the board, and now will shoot 2 big free throws. First one's good.
Once again, we talked about the freshman on the other end of the court with some composure here in a tough game on the line, and we see it again.
Yeah. It still blows me away that she is only a freshman. Second one. Good as well. 3-point game. St. Albert basketball. Saints get it up the 4. Timeout, Saints. And St. Albert will draw up a play inside of 30 seconds to go. I think the big question I have, Tandy, do you need a 3 right now?
I was going to ask you the same thing. I don't think so. I don't think I would. I think I would say you find an opportunity, you score. I mean, you know, if they find Lexi Pierce open on the 3-point line, absolutely. I don't think they need one yet.
Right.
And also, they've been drawing fouls a lot, too.
Yes.
I think if they can get it into Underwood, that's also a perfectly fine opportunity right now. I know it's 29 seconds, but that's still enough time.
Well, and with how, I mean, if you foul Quinn Sievers, you run the risk of them scoring 2 points, Newell-Fonda. But that being said, Newell-Fonda has been a little inconsistent shooting free throws at times, so you might get a miss here and there. You might end up with the ball down 2, even if you score a 2-point basket here. Boy, what a way to finish the semifinal round. We are going to crown some champions here tonight and tomorrow. And, of course, want to say thank you for joining us on the digital network all throughout the week. It's been a great week of the quarterfinals and semifinals. We've had a great time bringing it to you. Our crew has done a wonderful job, and we're ready to finish up one more semifinal contest to see if the Saints will have a chance to repeat or if Newell-Fonda will have a chance at some redemption in the 1A championship game. Saints with the ball, down 3.
We're getting everything we wanted in this rematch from the double overtime
and
last
more.
year.
What a game. Here's Underwood. Pass to the wing. Controlled by Pierce. Here's Wise. Down to Ryan. 10 seconds.
It's time to find something here.
Now they got to look for 3. This is saved. Ball is loose. Off the Saints. It's Newell-Fonda basketball.
Saints there took a lot of time looking for their shot, and it simply wasn't there.
Yeah, they had a few looks, but nothing developing. Took too much time. St. Albert did have a timeout left. Elected not to use it. Now Newell-Fonda has used one. And now the Mustangs' goal is pretty simple. We just got to get the ball in cleanly.
Right.
This is a huge inbound for Newell-Fonda because if the Saints get a steal in here as well, right away off the inbound, they will have time to get a shot off. So we'll see what happens as this 1A state semifinal continues. The Saints are trying to come up with anything here that might give them a chance to play tomorrow night. But it is going to be a challenge against this Newell-Fonda team who has played so well this week. They ran it past St. Ansgar on Wednesday and now are trying to get a little redemption here at the state tournament after their double overtime defeat to St. Albert in the title game last year.
2.5 seconds just is not a lot of time. As you said, Danny, if they got the steal, they would have time for the shot. I don't think they have time for a steal and a timeout.
No. Yeah, it's going to have to be quick. Whatever happens needs to be quick. Even if you foul, that's not the best outcome here. So here we go. Ellie Sievers inbounds for the Mustangs. They're looking. They throw it in. It's caught by Hograve. She's fouled. And 1 full second remains.
All right. The junior, Riley Hograve, to the line.
Yeah,
to see if she can put it away.
Barring 2 misses, I think this ball game will be over. And it's worth noting for St. Albert, they're not going to have time to get a timeout off if they get a rebound. Hograve's first free throw is good. I think that silences any chance at a St. Albert comeback. Newell-Fonda's been the runner-up 3 years in a row. The Juggernaut hasn't won a title in 5 years. They'll get to play for one tomorrow night. Newell-Fonda on to the 1A state championship game. The Mustangs redeem the 2 overtime title game loss last year to St. Albert. And the Mustangs will play Bishop Garrigan in a classic 1A championship game that we've seen a number of times before.
It was such a great rematch. Both teams should feel so proud of their performances today. They just really left everything out on the court. A tremendous effort by the Saints.
Tip-off will be at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Until then, let's go down to our public address announcer for the post-game presentation.
Proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU, our Executive Director, Aaron Gerlich, and Assistant Director, Basketball Administrator, Tanya Moe. Congratulations to Head Coach Dick Wettengel and the Saints from St. Albert on an outstanding basketball season. And now we'd like to recognize the Quick Star Star of the Game, Quinn Sievers from Newell-Fonda. This standout performance earns her the honor of advancing her team to the bracket all the way to the championship game. Thanks to Quick Star for their support of the IGHSAU.
Well, how about that? Quinn Sievers, who scores 18 points, and all 5'4" of her pulls down 8 rebounds, and Newell-Fonda back into the championship game for the 4th year in a row and 8th time in the last 9 seasons. But they'll be going for their first title since 2021. You know they're going to be driven to try and beat the Golden Bears.
Absolutely. They earned every inch of this win. Just really hard fought. Yeah, you mentioned Quinn Sievers, 18 points, 8 rebounds. Ellie Sievers chiming in another 11. Really team effort. We see a lot of scores for their team, and they're well poised for this championship game.
Of course, the game didn't go St. Albert's way, but you can't think of a more fitting way for Ava Underwood to end her career than with a 16-point, 10-rebound double-double. She did it all, and the Saints certainly gave themselves some chances, just couldn't quite convert down the stretch. And this great crew of senior girls basketball players goes to state 3 years in a row, wins a title, gets to the semis twice, and they conclude their senior season with a 22-4 record. They've played some great basketball in Council Bluffs, and I have no doubt that will continue over the next few years as well. But Newell-Fonda, the number 2 seed, will take on the top-seeded Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears, 7 o'clock tomorrow night, and a Class 1A state championship. And that will do it for our great coverage here on the Girls Union Digital Network. We are so glad you've been able to spend this week of girls state basketball with us. We'll be turning things over to our friends at Iowa PBS. We'll have the 5A championship game in a little over an hour. So, for all of us here in Des Moines at the Casey Center and the Girls Digital Network, I'm Daniel Versteg.